Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where we got a million contracts to go back to the moon. Like, realistically, we can't pass it up. We gotta go back. So, this is going to be coming back. So this is largely going to stay the same. That said, I feel like we do not need a couple of things on here. We do not need this. We do not need potentially this battery. Yeah, I don't think we need the battery. We've got the batteries in there. Otherwise, we do need to have ourselves a antenna, or an antenna. And I'm going to do an RA. Should I do a communitron? Like, this is much cheaper. I mean, this is supposed to be radial mounted, right? So, probably not. We'll do a relay antenna. And this should theoretically survive re-entry, I hope. And then we are going to need one more thing. And that is that I'm going to take this. Oh, I need to be back in build mode. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put in... what do I want to put in? Cargo. That's what I want to put in. I want to put in a small cargo storage unit. That's an awkward size. Where do I want to put this? Up top? Could do that. Kind of like that. That's not the end of the world. And inside of that cargo storage unit, we are going to put our new ionographer. Like so. The other thing that we want to bring along, and we do want to recover this, we want to bring along our fancy new negative gravioli detector. Now these are pretty expensive, so we definitely want to recover that. So we'll put that in there, and there we go. Now, I'm just checking here. That requires 0.4 per minute electric charge. That's not really a problem. Okay. So, then we also need... Actually, before I go in here, we also need, potentially, a photovoltaic panel to deploy. Now, that only costs 300. We'll go ahead and bring it. It also doesn't weigh hardly anything. There's no reason not to bring it, just in case. Then we're going to need an engineer to set that up, and a scientist to set up the experiment. And that will get us science data from the surface of the moon. This is a new outpost that has antenna, a docking port, and can generate power. It supports 5 Kerbals. We can plant a flag on the moon as long as we're there. We will get scientific data from there. And we might get some seismic sensor data as well from things that we crash into the surface. So ultimately, we're going to be working on a lot of contracts here. Now, this thing is expensive to launch compared to how much we have. So we kind of got to make this work. So I'm going to save this. And we're going to check our staging before we launch, actually. That's something I should do. As soon as it loads, anyway. Because the staging is almost certainly messed up. In fact, I know for a fact the staging is messed up. We could do a gravity scan right here. We're doing it. And then we're just going to recover this. There we go. No problem. As soon as it loads. KSP gets kind of slow sometimes. So, I mean, that's only 6 science. But we also recovered almost all that we spent. We lost a couple bucks on it, but it's fine. And now we can check our staging in the VAB. Okay, so we've got all of these firing at first, and then our solid boosters, and then our liquid boosters fall off, and then our main core falls off and our second stage fires, and then our second stage falls off and our landing stage fires, and then our landing stage... This is the decoupler going to the landing stage? Yes. Okay, these should come off at least when the second stage fires. So over here. And then this should come off at the same time as all of these, and then the drogue chutes should fire before the main chutes. These are the mains here. Drogue chutes first. Okay, well, let's go. Gotta get this thing to the moon. And back. I'm not intending this to stay on the moon. Significant portions of this mission will be recovered, and we will be completing multiple contracts, so we should come out of this with a sizable amount of profit, as well as a decent amount of science. You know what we don't have, and we should have? The Gravioli scanner is repeatable. We should have an experiment storage unit. So let's revert that one more time and head on into the VAB and put in an experiment storage unit, and then we'll be ready to go. Come on, you can load. You'll be fine. Perfect. Okay, now we need an experiment storage unit. And I'm planning on putting that basically right up top. Like this. We'll be maybe a little top heavy, but we're not planning on sticking around, so I think it'll be okay. Re-entry should be exciting, but our pilot is now capable of holding retrograde, so he should be able to do that on his own. There we go. Let's get out of here. We are now ready to go. We can't do a Gravioli detector here? Maybe only when landing and orbiting, or only when landed? I'm not sure. We'll have to see. If it's only when landed, then the experiment storage unit was wasted. But oh well. To prevent our patented backflip technology, TM, I'm gonna wait on the gravity turn. I don't like our patented backflip technology, TM. I want to phase that out. It's not particularly useful. Okay, solid rocket motors are going to be flaming out in 5 seconds. And detached. And now our side boosters are going to be flaming out in about a minute. I'll start the gravity turn soon though. Once our apoapsis gets to about 30 kilometers, seems to be an okay time to do it. Just have to wait till the atmosphere is a little bit thinner. Okay. Just keep on pitching over to the horizon at this point. Ever so slowly. Because we need horizontal speed. We don't really need that much more vertical speed. That was a much better gravity turn. And we're going to have flame out in 2 seconds. And there goes our side boosters. Successful stage separation. Our apoapsis is not quite in space yet, but that's okay. We just need to continue pushing through the atmosphere for now, even. And we will be in space very shortly. Still need about 1 kilometer per second before we are in orbit. But our apoapsis is entering space right now. Excellent. And our time to apoapsis is still decreasing, but I think it's slowing down. Because we're, of course, getting closer and closer to actually burning prograde rather than just horizon. "15 seconds to apoapsis, and we are in space." Go ahead and do a gravity scan. Excellent. And we'll collect that. Fantastic. Back to the horizon. Okay, we are at apoapsis right now. And we are going back down. Not a big fan of that, honestly. We're still very close to the atmosphere here. But we should be hitting orbit very, very shortly, so I think we'll be okay. We'll just need to bump ourselves up a little bit here. Okay. Go ahead and lock prograde. Excellent. Apoapsis is in space. We are going down right now, though. Let's speed that up a little bit. There we go. Now we definitely shouldn't deorbit. We're about 40 seconds to periapsis, so I'm going to go ahead and physics warp here until we're out of the periapsis. Or out of the atmosphere, even. 15 minutes to apoapsis, which is fine. 120 meters per second left in this stage, so we can use that to circularize and then head off with our maneuvering stage. Should be fine. We are climbing once more. We are just about to be out of the atmosphere. And there we go. Okay. So let's go ahead and, this is starting to get a little bit laggy. Let's go ahead and circularize here. Yeah, that doesn't even take all of the fuel in our first stage to circularize. Although, now that I'm thinking about it, should probably go ahead and extend our solar panels. There we go. Now we won't run out of power. Apparently that's always a danger with me. Okay, let's just get oriented for this circularization 2 electric boogaloo burn? Sure, we'll go with that. I wasn't intending to do a second circularization burn, but sure. I guess it's fine. Okay. There we go. And let's go ahead and warp to that maneuver. We can do a gravity scan of a lot of these biomes. We should probably do an orbit before we leave and do a gravity scan of them. Like, let's get grasslands for now. And then just stability assist is fine. We'll do this circularization, and then we'll do an orbit of all of the biomes that we can get. Here's shores. Because this is probably going to be a lot of science for us. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and warp forward a little bit here. And let's get this burn done. Good enough. I overburned, but it's fine. Like, realistically, we want to do an orbit anyway, right? So let's go ahead and stop time warp. I'm going to set up a maneuver right here. Just an empty maneuver, so we can see where we are in our orbit. And we're just going to warp around, stopping time warp every time we hit a new biome. Mountains. Here's one. Collect all. What else do we have? Highlands. Fantastic. Grasslands we already had. Highlands. Mountains. Highlands. Yep, this is all fine. Deserts. Grab that gravity scan. You can just be on stability assist, honestly. Water we've already gotten. Shores, don't really care. Deserts. Water. What else do we have? Highlands. Mountains. Grasslands. Additional water. More grasslands, shores, water. Shores. Water. Grasslands. Water. Shores. Grasslands. Highlands. Grasslands. Highlands. Mountains. Highlands and grasslands. Additional highlands. Okay. And there's a full orbit. So that's everything that we're going to get for now. And we're just going to go ahead and head off to the moon. However, it is time to put a cut in here. So next episode, we will head to the moon and complete 1,000,000 contracts. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you all next time.